Hello there, welcome to day 12 training in our social media run. Today we're going to talk about the 5-step process that is ideal for taking our followers on social media into becoming our business prospects and even team members and customers. And it can apply, it's more of like an idea and awareness of how to turn it on, and so that we're not turning question too quickly. And there's also the dare at the end. The assignment has to do with a brand new strategy for creating leads. So excited to share that. So first of all, the process starts with kind of obviously the prospect not being aware of who you are or what you stand for or what you have to offer. So the idea, of course, is then to make them aware that you're there, right? And we do that a lot through creating content. And this is also why, especially in the beginning of our journey of building our businesses online, it requires a lot of action on our part for reaching out to other people, to connect with them, to being the one to take the initiative, until, of course, our content naturally starts to create and build an audience that reaches out to us. And that's a goal in this. But in the meantime, it starts with people being unaware that you exist. They're creating content, and then they become aware. Now, most people stop at this point. And as far as building, and sometimes once they have somebody interact with them, they go ahead and pitch them at this point. And you can have some success with that, but there are 3 additional steps that if you work them in, it turns the ratio much more in our favor in building your business. So they go from not being aware that you're there to being aware that you're there. Next is to become aware of their pain or problem, which they likely have. But if you with your content show that you can relate to them and that you can understand what their pain or problem is, then that takes them to the next step. Then the 4th one is that they become aware of what the solution, maybe it's a specific process or idea or ingredient or something, and you can create content around it, like 3 things you can do to solve this problem. And so, a lot of people will create content around numbers 3 and 4, and this is great. But the key is to take it to the 5th step. This is really the game changer. Is when you make it evident that not only do you understand that step 3 and 4, you understand their pain, their problem, you understand what the solution is, but that you are the person that can help resolve it for them. That you are the solution for them. And the way that works is a lot of your content can revolve around testimonies, before and afters, interviews with people that you've helped or have experienced a result with what you have to offer. So again, the 5 steps to make sure you're taking your audience through is to take them, first of all, from not knowing who you are to become aware of who you are, to then making them aware of their pain. If it's, making money online or lacking money in their life. A solution could be making money online, for example. And the 5th is game on, to show your results and how it's worked for you and other people that you've helped, right? So, and one thing that's really important in this process is to keep it relatable. A lot of times online, we look at the big influencers, right? And we might think, oh gosh, I can't do that. Well, that is not what you want somebody to say who's following you, that you want them to join, that you want them to relate to you, right? And so you don't have to be perfect, but even as we gain our skills and become more polished, we can still present ourselves as understanding and actually paying attention to this process to say, this is what I went through, this is what I was like. Being totally authentic and relatable, regardless of how much we grow in our skills, can be how this can be resolved, so that we can have the confidence of those top influencers that we see, right? But still maintain that connection and authenticity with our audience. So an example that he gave in his business, and Fraser Brooks is training this, he helps network marketers in these sort of scenarios and train in social media. So for his example, he knows from being around network marketers that generating leads can be stressful, right? That's why we're learning. And this is just amazing because we're creating leads on demand. Like, I can't keep up with all the conversations. It's so exciting. Hopefully you're experiencing the same if you're following along. But his solution is, he can create training to help people with this. And so his content might be something like, if you struggle with creating leads and network marketing, you'll love this training program that I created, a step-by-step to create leads on demand. And I've been in that number 5 part, right? I've been around the world and helped people just like you. So it gives people a sense that you know what you're talking about, and but yeah, you're still relatable. And something you pointed out that was really cool is you don't have to be an expert in the field or in the area that you're sharing. You just have to be one step ahead. You can even say, I'm not an expert in this, but this is what I found that really works for me. And that allows you to share with them really authentically and gives them the connection, like, oh, well, if she can do it, I can do it too. Right. um I think we are ready for the dare. Oh, just a little more insight into those 5 steps of going from not being aware that you exist to seeing you as the solution, is that those steps 1 and 2 are more logical and 3 through 5 are more emotional. And it says you'll make more friends by being interested in other people than trying to be interesting, right? I think How to Win Friends and Influence People is maybe the book where that originated, but a lot of people have posted and repurposed that. But both are important. So the steps 1 and 2 are how you are being interesting, and that is important to a point. But how you really bring the game on is being interested in other people and showing that you understand what they're going through, and that's what steps 3 through 5 are. Okay, so the dare is actually not even directly related to that, but kind of. It relates to it. It's another vehicle of lead generation. Like, we've been doing so many, and the idea through all these is not to maintain all of them every single day, perhaps, but choose the 1 or 2 or 3 that seem to work best and that you enjoy, and to go with it. So this is a survey, and because this was a weekend challenge, there's 3 levels to do it to 50, 100, or 250 people. The levels 1, 2, and 3. And simply write this message to friends. Say hi in their name. I'm asking all my friends and family on social media to help me with a very simple 1 question survey. Could you help me with this? And you wait for their answer, right? And they'll probably either not answer, or they will ghost you, or that is the same, or they'll say no, or they'll say yes. So the ones that say yes, then you reply with a this or that question, which we've talked about, just like a question that has 2 possible answers. It can be a yes or no question. Um, it can be a brand question. Ideally, this is something that relates to your offer, whether it's your product or your opportunity. So, for example, he gave, when it comes to skincare, what brand do you use most? And he'll list like 2 common brands, like Dove or Nivea or something. I don't even know what they are. And then when they reply, then you say, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And that's it for the moment. And you take documentation of the results and what they answered and the timing of when they answered. Another option he gave is if you have a protein supplement, it's a yes or no question. Do you currently use a protein supplement? If they say yes, then you can do a supplemental question, which is like, is it whey protein or plant protein? And then great. But then you're doing 2 questions. And just me personally, I feel like if I ask them for a 1 question survey, I would stop after 1. But it doesn't really matter. Just whatever they answer, they answer. And then you wait about 24 hours after they've given you the answer and come back. And you say, hey, to their name, like, hey, Mary, hey, Bob, whatever the name is. Just wanted to say thank you for your help yesterday. Quick one. I know you said you used such and such brand, or of whatever their answer was. I wondered if you'd be open to hearing my story about why I switched from that to this, or why I started using this, and see what they say. And that'll be really fun. So that was the dare, and so I'm really excited to implement this, because I didn't get a chance to yet because I was on travel. But I'm gonna implement this while doing the next one. I do have today's training to share, but I have to go off, so I won't be live here right away. But look for it later today. I'll get today's training up.